DeAndre Hunter is more NBA ready. RJ Barrett's he wants to be a Knick, and he'll fight for that franchise. I like his heart.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then so everyone knew the first three. Everyone knew what the first three was going to be, and then this is where the draft really started. This is where it started. Mm-hmm. Pick 4. The Hawks made the move. I love that they got their guy. I love going for your guy. DeAndre Hunter is a great player. We've said that. We're big fans of him on the podcast. He's a champion. Good attitude, good character.
Play guy too. Just play him now.
Yeah, he can go in there right now. He's not a veteran, but he's a mature guy. He's ready for it. He's ready for it. He's a guy you trust. Pelicans made another big trade. Gilbert, he's staying hot. He's making good trades. He's getting extra picks, building that team right. Gives him a chance.
The great thing for them is they said, they probably said it'd be nice to have Hunter, it'd be nice to have Culver, it'd be nice to have this and that. We don't need him. We need a center. There's a center at 4 is the wrong pick. Let's trade back. So I like that they did that. That's the smart move. If there's no pick there, trade back.
I do like them getting Jackson Hayes because they got 3 first-round picks, so they can take the risk on him. And he's not going into a situation where he necessarily has to be. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have to be good right away. He doesn't have to play right away. He's in a good situation. That's the one thing I do like about the Jackson Hayes pick because he is raw. He needs time, and I think that works out. Well, I don't think they'll get Julius Randle back. Maybe they will. I don't know. I don't think they will.
I think they have him back. I think that no. They took Jahlil Okafor's player option. That's my bad. Mm-hmm. I think they'll get Julius Randle back.
Mm-hmm. And then the Cavs take the most fresh-dressed man at the NBA draft, Darius Garland.
Did you like it? I said, you know what? I figured out what I'm wearing to my wedding. That's what I'm wearing. The bathrobe. It's casual. It's laid back. It's casual, but it's formal.
I think it's awesome. I would like to wear that to I want to wear it if I ever get into NBA media rooms. That's what I'm wearing to every media event.
That's what you're wearing to it. Okay, so what did you think about this pick?
This pick was probably
last year.
Go ahead.
Last year they pick Colin Sexton, number 8. Mm-hmm. This year they come in number 5, Darius Garland. They're basically the same player.
No, well, Garland's more of a shooter, better scorer. I like but I'm forgetting his name already. Colin Sexton's defense. I like his defense better. I like his energy more, and you kind of know what you're going to get from Colin Sexton. Garland is still injuries. We'll see. Well, he's a bit of a mystery. You kind of know. You don't really know what you're going to get. You understand his game, but you don't know what you're going to get yet.
The thing is, he's a shooter off the dribble, and it's always tough. Is that going to translate or not?
Yeah, the 2-point guards are weird. What I'm hearing is they want to do the C.J. McCollum, Damion Lillard kind of combination. That's tough. I guess I like them saying, all right, we're just going to take the best player. We're going to take the best player available, and we're going to figure it out. It's just, I feel like hopefully Colin Sexton's mature enough to understand this. I felt like Jim Beeline would want a guy like Culver. I think Culver made more sense for a Jim Beeline team, at least based on what he had in Michigan. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm hoping Colin Sexton's mature enough to be understand, hey, we're not giving up on you. You're still one of our guys. You're still a big part of this future. Yeah. It's an interesting pick. It's very interesting.
So for me, I thought it was basically, I really thought they did this pick as part of we don't want this to come back and bite us. We don't want it to be 10 years from now and being we could have taken Darius Garland, but we took Jared Culver. I felt like it was one of those picks.
For the Cavs, I don't think it'll matter because whoever they picked, the other guy was going to be better, but didn't matter.
It just ends up that way. They were actually doing this to the benefit of Culver.
Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about that pick.
Yeah, and speaking of Culver, he was picked next. I thought this was a great pick. Also, a trade up to it by the Timberwolves. I don't know what all they gave up. Was it just that 11 and a later pick or a next year pick?
They gave up 11 and Saric.
Oh, that's right. Saric was in that, and that's right, Saric. Which I mean, so I kind of like this for both teams. I think with this Culver thing, the one of two things is going to happen. I think Culver is going to come in and be a good player and start and be a really promising player, or he's going to light a fire under Andrew Wiggins, and Andrew Wiggins is going to start playing like he's making $150 million. I think that's what's happening. This is basically a prove it prove it to me, Wiggins contract. We got it. We got a new guy. We're ready to get rid of you.
I think the Wolves kind of traded up expecting the Cavs to take Culver. I kind of think they thought that because I think they wanted the point guard there.
I think they would have rather Garland, but I don't mind the trade up for Culver either.
Yeah, I like Culver a lot. I do like Culver. Maybe this means they do keep Jeff Teague, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know. All right. Then the Bulls get Kobe White at 7. No surprise. They needed a point guard.
Interesting fit for them. They kind of have 5 young guys.
Yeah, they got a young team, but we'll see how that goes. Kobe White, he had the hair of the draft. Didn't fit on the hat. Doesn't fit. It's always a great visual.
Lonnie Walker.
Yeah.
Essence of Lonnie Walker.
And then we got the Jackson Hayes, what we already talked about. And then we get a surprise. Wizards draft Roy Hachimura, who the Wizards didn't even interview in the draft process. I didn't even know that till recently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Was not expecting this. I thought this was going to be Dumboya. Is that how you say his name? I thought that was going to be him the whole time. Hachimura, I do like Hachimura. It's just an unexpected pick.
Yeah. I didn't think it'd be... I thought it could have been Dumboya. I thought this might have been... I wasn't sure. I thought this might have been one of the, like, maybe a Cameron Johnson or Cam Reddish, really even. One of those picks where it's like, okay, let's just get someone that can fit in nicely next to Beal and Wall. But we'll have to see because he's a bit of a tweener, but I think he's super polished. And I think he's someone that has a great offensive game and still has growing to do. The problem is, what is he going to do defensively? That's the real problem.
The pick and roll game is not going to be very nice for Hachimura and Dwight Howard. It's not going to be very fun. That's going to be miserable. But hey, I like Hachimura. Good offensive player. I'm excited to see what he can do. And then 10, Cam Reddish falls to the Hawks. The Hawks got a guy they really liked. Did not expect him to fall to 10. Mm-hmm. I thought he would be gone by now, but I like the move. I wouldn't say it's a high risk. It's a high reward, lower risk. It's not low risk.
I think it's one of those where it's kind of like for the Hawks. It's like, yeah, I mean, if DeAndre Hunter works out, great. If Cam Reddish works out, great. If Cam Reddish works out, DeAndre Hunter doesn't, like, that's still fine. If DeAndre Hunter works out and Cam Reddish doesn't, that's still fine. Mm-hmm. It's one of those where it's like, we just want someone to play defense and shoot threes. We're going to swing as many times as we can. And they're doing it. So I thought it was a great pick by them. I think the Hawks had my second favorite draft.
I really enjoyed the Hawks draft. They had a very good draft. I like their draft. And then we had probably the biggest surprise of the draft, I would say. Number 11, the Suns, who traded back. They draft Cam Johnson, a guy who most people predicted wouldn't go till the 20s.
Late 20s.
Even maybe in the second round. This was unexpected. What do you think?
I think it's clear. The Suns know they need spacing. They need someone that Booker can pass to. And so they went to get 3-point shooters, and Cameron Johnson is the best 3-point shooter. It's going to help a ton for Aiden and Booker having him shooting rather than having Josh Jackson who can't shoot the three. It'll be interesting to see. He's going to have to be able to play defense because they don't have a good defensive team. But really, if he can stand there and shoot the ball and make shots off the pass, then that's all the Suns were drafting for. And do they need a point guard? Yes. Do they need more defense? Yes. Do they need this and that? Yeah. But they need a lot of things. And so at least they're attacking a problem. At least this one makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like Cam Johnson. Great shooter. This kind of set the tone for the whole draft. The shooting. That's kind of how you can see how big the shooting is in the NBA now. So the next pick that stood out to me would be 16. The Orlando Magic. They draft Chuma Okeke, coming off the ACL injury. He went a lot earlier than a lot of people expected. I like the Magic going out and saying, we just made the playoffs. We can give you a year to get back there.
Year to rest up, get healthy.
We have we have young guys that are going to come in next year that we hope can make a difference. They're still waiting on Bamba to develop. We'll see if Markelle Fultz can do anything. But they get a guy they know that'll translate in a year. And
the great thing about Chuma, which I've said before, better three-point shooting than Cam Reddish, better defense numbers, it looks like, than Cam Reddish. A super high IQ basketball guy, maybe not as bouncy, but, it seems like everything in comparison, which I know, Okiki is a bit older than Cam, seems like he's just a better Cam Reddish to me. That's what it seems like. And the Magic got that guy 6 picks later. So I thought it was fantastic.
I think they're different players, but I can understand what you're saying. I think they're very different players. But
yeah.
Anyway, we talked about 17, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I like the Pacers getting Goga B to Z. Goga had the funniest. What's that?
I thought this was interesting.
It is interesting because they have 2 bigs and Sabonis.
They got Sabonis and Turner, and they just paid Turner.
I like
think
Goga.
This Sabonis is gone.
I think they're going to let. I don't think Sabonis is just gone yet, but I think they want to see what they have here. I think they're going to want to see what they have.
Yeah.
And then I've heard Oladipo might have a longer recovery than expected, so this is kind of interesting. I like Goga a lot. I think they drafted based on best available than need, which is fine with me. And then 20 is something that's interesting to me. The Sixers, they drafted Matisse Thybulle, a guy that's only known for defense. The Sixers, I feel like they need shooters. They didn't get that. You don't really know if you're going to get Jimmy or Tobias back. It's just interesting. This pick was interesting to me.
Yeah, well, so he can kind of shoot off the pass.
Kind of.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Not great. But yeah, this was clearly a defense thing. I think this was and it's hard to tell, but it definitely seems like this is a let's stop their best player type of thing. And I think this pick is influenced a lot by they couldn't really do much against Kawhi Leonard, and they don't really want Ben Simmons to be the one guarding him.
Okay.
That's what I thought this pick was influenced by. And I know he's a little bit smaller, but he's a really good defender. So I thought this was that. Just, we don't want Ben Simmons on their best guy.
Yeah. Okay. Then the Thunder made their trade. And then we get to 22, Celtics draft Grant Williams, great player. Maybe a very underrated pick. We'll see. I think the Celtics had a very good draft. They got Romeo Langford earlier.
I don't like the Romeo Langford pick, but yeah.
But they had so many picks, so I'm fine with them taking Romeo Langford and going for a chance. We'll come back to your pick. And then at 24, the Celtics get Ty Jerome. Another interesting pick. They got the guards.
Suns.
A guy that can the Suns got him? Oh, they traded it. So it was traded to the Celtics, who then traded it to the Suns. Never mind. Sorry about the Ty Jerome thing. Well, never mind, Celtics. Your draft wasn't as good as I thought it was. All right, talk about Darius Bazley, unless you want to talk about Ty Jerome.
I would kind of want to talk about both. I thought, really quick, I thought that Ty Jerome was similar to the Cameron Johnson. They just want three-point shooting. They want space. The problem is neither of these guys are defenders, but oh well, you're going to go from the 30th worst defense to the 30th worst defense. So, Darius Bazley, interesting pick. What's his name? Sam Presti. Gosh, I can't even figure. Sam Presti's kind of good at picking diamonds out in the rough. He got James Harden. They took Russell Westbrook 4th, but people thought that was a huge reach. So he's kind of, and I mean, Steven Adams, he got kind of later in that draft. We'll see with Terrence Ferguson what he ends up being. But so I like Sam Presti, but this guy, it's weird. He was never really too serious about basketball until a little bit later. He turned down going to Syracuse because he was going to go to the G League, and then decided, no, I'm not going to go to the G League. But do you want to know something good?
His internship at New Balance, he's probably has the best internship on his resume. That's probably how he got drafted by OKC. He's like, here's my resume, and they're like, wow, this guy, wow, and that's why I got drafted. That can translate to $1 million shoe deal, but
He's a fan of cartoon. One of his favorites, SpongeBob SquarePants. That's solid. That is